this is the kind of thing that I want you to start to do, is to sort of start to plan it. This is a second level of sketching that I did. That's another one. Okay, and then this is a different one. So this one was this one. Okay. And this is the ink line work as well. But then I feel like I must have done a rougher one as well. Can't see it. Oh, that's okay. So basically we're going to do something similar to this, okay? So that I've got a space to work with. Okay? And then I might just break that up into about where are my pencils? Here. I'll break it up into eight sort of sections. So about halfway. All right, so there's my little 8 boxes. Okay, and then I'm just going to start, and I'm just going to kind of think through each one. But these are really, these are going to be really loose, rough images. So number 1. And don't even worry if this changes, because this is just the first thing you do. Things always change when we draw or design something. So the robot sat and played with flowers in the laboratory. Okay. Now, because this is the first image of the laboratory, maybe I show a sort of a larger, wider point of view. Okay. So maybe we see a wall. Okay, and there's a big glass thing here, and out here we've got scientists, and in here we've got the robot. You know, I don't know what he looks like, but there's a little flower, right, playing with flowers. All right, there you go. That's number 1. And the scientist, number 1, gives the robot a magnifying glass through a small flap door from the monitor room to the robot's environment. So there's a monitor room out here, so maybe we could have yeah, so maybe there's a few other flowers, right? I'm not sure of what information's in here yet, and it doesn't really matter. For this level, it's just a really quick what you're focusing on is the content of each cell. All right, this is a cell. This is a frame. These are frames or cells, and they're going to be individual drawings, probably, right? So you might have gaps between them to make it a bit clearer. Okay, scientist 1 gives the robot a magnifying glass through a small flap door from the monitor room. Okay, so a small flap door. Okay, so this is what we call a close-up. This is a sort of a wide shot, and this one will be a close-up. So somehow we want to sort of show the scientist. Maybe we see his face here. Okay. And he's pushing a little magnifying glass in to some kind of a special doorway. Okay, now we don't necessarily need to see the robot at this point, do we? We're just seeing a small action. Maybe though maybe we see the doorway closed here or something. So maybe there's a connection. Or maybe we see the edge of the robot, the head of the robot or something. or maybe not, I don't know. But that might be enough. The scientist smiled at the robot as it observed the flowers through the glass. So the robot's looking through the glass and the scientist is smiling. So now we have to sort of think about, where are we seeing that from? So you could change the point of view a lot, right? Let's have this idea of the flower, the magnifying glass, the robot. Let's say the robot's got an eye like this. I don't know what it looks like. Maybe this is its hand here. And it's looking down through this. So maybe there's another eye here. Right, so let's say that's what the robot looks like. And this is his eye, this is his other eye. He's looking through the magnifying glass at the flower. So it's quite a different point of view, isn't it? It's quite an interesting point of view. And then what that allows maybe is there could be room in the background to show the scientists smiling. All right, scientist. So you're kind of getting all of that in one little frame. Now, there's many ways to do this, right? This is just one option. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to change my perspective a bit. So I've got wide shot, close up. This is sort of an extreme close up in a way. This is maybe a medium close up. So these are different shots. Okay, wide. Right, let's say there's a house with a tree. Okay, so that's the wide shot. Mid shot might be a sense of the house being there, tree being there, and maybe we see a person in the window. Okay, then you maybe could say medium close-up might be the window and the person. And then a close-up might be sort of just the person's head. Okay, and then an extreme close-up might be their eyes, or just their facial features kind of thing. Okay, and that's sort of an example of the different shots that most storytellers use. And you could break it down a little bit more, but the idea is you're getting closer and closer to the action, or the action is larger in the frame. So this is probably an extreme close-up, and this one's probably a close-up, or a medium close-up. All right, next one. Robot used magnifying glass to focus sunlight on a flower. Okay, and so, what might be nice, instead of him just doing that straight away, maybe it'd be nice to have him sort of thinking about it. So what if we sort of see him looking up? And he's looking up maybe at a skylight. So we sort of see him looking up, Mr. Robot. And there's a skylight in the roof maybe. And through that skylight he can see the sun. So the sun's kind of coming in. Okay, so it's sort of showing a shift between this to the burning. So it's almost like he's having an idea. Unless it happens by accident, which is another way to deal with this. But this is really now the decisions that Arne has to make. What if, you could even have him do this. Hold this up. All right, so he's looking at the sun, but it hurts him or something, or maybe he's looking through it. And it hurts him, like it burns his metal. A bit of smoke comes up. Okay, and then he gets the idea, and so he sits down again. Getting the light coming through to hit the flower. Okay, and the scientists are up here maybe. Right, there's a sense of this now starting on fire. Okay, the flower begins to burn. This could be a close-up. Okay, so this might be a close-up. This might be a sort of a, what would this be? Maybe a medium close-up, or a mid. Okay, and then all scientists look into the robot's cage in horror. So we might have a focus on the scientist now. Maybe we need an extra image here. Maybe this is from the point of view of the scientists. Sort of looking at each other. Okay, and in the background is the fire. So this is the glass behind them, something like that. And the robot, maybe the robot's standing up. With the magnifying glass still, something like this. Okay, these are just options. You don't know yet what's the best thing. The robot then smashes the other flowers and stomps on the grass and butterflies. Okay, so we sort of want to, what I'm trying to do is get a sort of a flow here. I think we need to see the robot's eyes now. I think we need a close-up of the robot. It's a kind of a crazy... kind of a crazy look somehow. You know, how do we draw that? I don't know. This is going to be in the character design, isn't it? But it's almost like we need to see him thinking, you know, this is fun, or I'm gonna go for it. And then we see him just going crazy. So he's running around. Smashing. Yeah, I don't know how to draw that yet. All right, but there's a bit of a rough plan, okay? I've got most of them. I missed the last one. We've got some butterflies here. You know, beautiful butterflies, which we should probably introduce back here. Little butterflies. Everything's happy, happy, joy, joy. Maybe there's a butterfly on here. You know? Chaos. And then the final one we didn't fit is this image of the scientist pushing the shutdown button. So maybe we do need an extra drawing here. So there might be an extra one, which is like a big shutdown. Shut down. And a big hand. Smashing it down, right? Bum, 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 bum. So this might be somewhere down here. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've sort of ended up with about 10 images. 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 10 images from 8 actions. And, you know, that's fine. All right, the point is there's different ways to do this. But what you want to do is try to think of, I think, you want to try to think of changing your shots, as in wide, medium, right? So don't always have the same kind of shot. It'll get really boring really quickly. So mix your shots up. It's a good idea to show the location at some point. It doesn't have to be the first one. Okay, I sort of showed it in the first one. That is a nice idea, but it could have been in the second or third one. You know, looking at this now, this could almost swap. You could start with this, right? Right, the door opens and then we see this, and down here is the little door. Maybe the magnifying glass has dropped onto the ground. Boom, boom, boom. So this could be number 1 and this could be number 2. And then he picks it up. All right, so there's different ways to do this. But look, that's a pretty good start, I think.